Interview 1.
Welcome to Cinema Today. We're talking about the evolution of film technology with Mr. David, a film historian. Mr. David, thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Film technology has come a long way since the early days of silent films. Can you explain some of the major developments over the years?
Absolutely. The first big change was the introduction of synchronized sound in the late 1920s. This allowed films to move beyond silent movies and integrate dialogue and music directly into the picture, which completely transformed the industry. The next major leap came with color film in the 1930s, which allowed filmmakers to create more visually dynamic movies. Later, in the 1970s and 80s, the introduction of computer-generated imagery, or CGI, opened up even more possibilities for filmmakers, enabling them to create special effects that were previously impossible.
And how about the impact of digital technology on film in more recent years?
The shift from film to digital technology in the early 2000s was a game changer. Digital cameras made it easier and cheaper to produce movies, and the quality has improved dramatically over the years. Directors now have more flexibility to experiment with visual effects and editing, and it's much easier to distribute films digitally through streaming platforms. Today, filmmakers are even exploring virtual reality and 360-degree videos, pushing the boundaries of how we experience movies.
What do you think the future holds for film technology?
It's hard to say for sure, but I believe we'll continue to see more advancements in virtual and augmented reality. Filmmakers are always looking for new ways to immerse audiences in their stories, and these technologies have the potential to change how we experience movies. I also think that artificial intelligence will play a bigger role in the film industry, from editing to even creating entirely digital actors. It's an exciting time for the future of cinema.
Interview 2.
Welcome to Health and Wellness. We're talking today with Dr. Lisa, a psychologist specializing in mindfulness meditation. Dr. Lisa, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Mindfulness meditation seems to be gaining popularity lately. Can you explain what it is and why it's becoming so popular?
Certainly, mindfulness meditation is a practice that involves focusing your attention on the present moment, often by paying close attention to your breath or bodily sensations. The idea is to cultivate awareness of your thoughts and feelings without judgment, allowing you to experience them fully and calmly. It's becoming popular because it's been shown to have a range of mental and physical health benefits. People today are often stressed or overwhelmed by their fast-paced lives, and mindfulness offers a simple, effective way to manage stress and improve overall well-being.
What kind of benefits can people expect from practicing mindfulness meditation?
Mindfulness has been shown to reduce stress and anxiety, improve focus and concentration, and even lower blood pressure. People who practice mindfulness regularly report feeling more relaxed and in control of their emotions. It can also help improve sleep quality, which is something many people struggle with. On a mental level, mindfulness allows individuals to step back from their thoughts and emotions, which can prevent them from feeling overwhelmed or caught up in negative thinking patterns.
That sounds amazing. How can someone start incorporating mindfulness meditation into their daily routine?
The great thing about mindfulness is that you can start small. Even 5 to 10 minutes a day can make a difference. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed, sit comfortably, and focus on your breath. If your mind wanders, which it will, just gently bring your focus back to your breathing. There are also plenty of apps and guided meditations available to help beginners get started. The key is to be consistent. Try to make it a part of your daily routine, like brushing your teeth or exercising. Interview 3.
Welcome to Pop Culture Chronicles. Double quotes today. We're discussing the history of comic books with Mr. Allen, a comic book historian. Mr. Allen, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's always fun to talk about comics.
Comic books have been around for decades. Can you give us an overview of how they started and how they've evolved over time?
Sure, comic books as we know them today really started in the 1930s, though the concept of illustrated storytelling dates back much further. The first true comic book, as we understand the format today, was published in 1933. This led to the golden age of comics in the 1940s, which saw the creation of iconic superheroes like Superman and Batman. Comics during this time were primarily aimed at younger audiences and often focused on adventure and superhero themes. However, in the 1960s, with the rise of Marvel Comics and creators like Stan Lee, comic books began to explore more complex themes and appeal to older readers as well.
What impact did the rise of superhero films have on the comic book industry?
The success of superhero films in the early 2000s, starting with movies like Spider-Man and X-Men, brought a renewed interest in comic books. Many people who had never read comics before became interested in the stories behind the characters they saw on screen. This helped to expand the comic book audience, and publishers responded by creating more diverse and sophisticated stories. It also helped elevate comic book creators into mainstream pop culture, with writers and artists gaining more recognition for their work.
What do you think is the future of comic books?
While print sales have declined in recent years, digital comics have opened up new avenues for readers. I think we'll continue to see more experimentation with the format, especially as technology advances. Webcomics and digital platforms are allowing independent creators to reach new audiences, and I believe that comics will continue to evolve and to remain an important part of storytelling. The superhero genre will always be popular, but we're also seeing more diversity in both the types of stories being told and the characters featured in comics.